Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Cop Council. How are we all? Hopefully, all of you are on a fantastic day from wherever you are around the world. Apologies, I forgot to put the banner down below as well. But hello, everyone. Hopefully, all of you are having a fantastic day from wherever you are around the world. Hopefully, all of you are having a fantastic day. I am, apart from even acknowledging the football. I think that's probably the best thing to not do at the minute in terms of Liverpool Football Club. But yes, we are back for another match preview for you guys, and it is Liverpool v Napoli in the Champions League. Let me know, guys, if the stream is okay. Let me know if the volume's okay, if everything's okay. Please let me know in the comment section down below, because I am testing a few things. You can see the green screen's back working. Hopefully, it's not too bad, the lag. Um, it wasn't the best earlier on when I checked, and let me know, guys, as well, if the audio is also correct as well. Let me know, guys, in the comment section down below. But as well, guys, let me know how all you are feeling as well. Of course, Liverpool Napoli, it's going to be a nightmare test for Liverpool yet again. At the minute, Napoli are probably one of the best sides in Europe, but probably the best side in Europe at the present moment in time, alongside probably Arsenal, Manchester City, in that bracket as well in terms of form. But again, Napoli look absolutely outrageous, don't they, so far this season? Taking a look, of course, currently top of the Champions League group, currently top of Serie A as well, and look to be absolutely, dominating Italian football at uh, at the moment. And I think that's the interesting part where obviously I think a lot of us thought that Napoli would be a little bit of a dark horse, and by God, have they smashed it so far this season. Anyway, but if you guys are new around here as well, doing this for the first time, any Napoli fans in here, of course, any other fans in here, please hit the like button as well. Please hit the subscribe button as well. I believe we're a couple of steps away from the 770, I think. So if we can get there, it'll be very much appreciated, as well as always. Anyway, but let's get into your comments then. Of course, Chris did comment earlier on, saying this game is meaningless. We've both qualified. Who cares about finishing top? You get to draw regardless, and expect both teams to be named against weaker lineups as well. Potentially, Chris, I think again, obviously Liverpool to top the group. I think we'd have to beat Napoli like 5-6-0. So on realistic, statistics, no, Liverpool aren't going to top the group. Napoli will top the group. But whether or not it will be on equal points, or whether or not Liverpool get an absolute spanking tomorrow, that's another question to be answered anyway in due course. Of course, anyway. But we'll get on to Napoli then, guys, as well. And like I said, guys, let me know your thoughts, let me know your reaction as well. Let me know your score predictions. Let me know your start 11 predictions as well in the comment section down below. Anyway, but taking a quick look at Napoli then, for you guys. Of course, like we said, top of Serie A at the present moment in time. Currently, 32 points, 5 points ahead of Atalanta as well. Of course, 6 points ahead of last year's champions AC Milan. Which again, that's for, when you look at it like that, look how good that Milan side was last season. That was a very, very good achievement so far. Of course, everything can change from now until the end of the season. Of course, World Cup, being a massive impact to everyone, not only Napoli and Liverpool, but to everyone. But as you can see, 10 wins, 2 draws, 0 defeats, 30 goals, and 9 goals conceded this season. 21 plus on goal difference. And just looking at their latest games, 4-2 against Ajax, 3-2 against I think that's Bologna, is it? Yeah, Bologna. 1-0 win against Roma, 3-0 win against Rangers, and 4-0 win against Sassuolo as well. Which again, it's impressive, guys. And look, it's really, really scary when we think we have to come up against this, tomorrow. And for me, I look at it and I'm like, the two people for me and the two players, in my opinion, that are going to be, if they do play, are going to be the massive standouts are, of course, Victor Osimhen and Kvaratskhelia as well. I think that's how you pronounce his name. Apologies if I have butchered his name, but he is a talent. And we always say this thing, don't we? If someone plays amazing against Liverpool, Liverpool usually go on to sign them. But I do think look, if them two play, and if the lineup is a weakened, Liverpool defence, then I do think that Napoli are going to have a field day against Liverpool. In many regards, but again, they have an important game against Atalanta, I believe on Saturday anyway. So once again, they will most likely rest players for sure. There's no doubt I would think in them to being rested and then potentially being brought on. So in my opinion, I don't think Napoli particularly care. We'll take a look at the Champions League groups in general in a brief moment, but I think, as Chris said, I don't think either team really cares then who they do come up against. Anyway, but let me quickly get up the Champions League tables anyway for you guys, and let's just have a look. Because 9 times out of 10, Liverpool are going to finish runners up in this group. That's just how it's going to happen. Anyway, and I think that's the best thing where the last time it did, obviously Liverpool did finish runners up. Of course, Liverpool, went on to win the Champions League. Is that going to happen this year? I don't know. I don't freaking know. It's annoying, isn't it? I think at the moment, just everything at the minute isn't the best, is it? If we're talking about Liverpool, either injuries, playing well, or anything. But just taking a look at the Champions League groups as things stand, anyway. Of course, Napoli, top, 20 goals, 4 goals conceded, which is, outrageous when you think about it. And you look at it even on our end, 15 goals scored, 6 goals conceded. 4 of those, of course, conceded against Napoli when they absolutely battered us out in Italy. But yeah, our group's obviously secured. Obviously, Club Brugge and Porto also, being also going through. Of course, Atletico Madrid getting knocked out, which is brilliant. We'll see Bayern and Inter are through in that group. So even, obviously it looks like, Bayern Munich obviously is the one to avoid. I think for many teams in the Champions League this season, even though they haven't been the best in the Bundesliga, Champions League, they've still been pretty decent. To be fair, obviously Group D still up for grabs for anyone. Any one of them could qualify. Chelsea and Milan as well. I think Chelsea are through, aren't they? But again, Milan could potentially be out. But again, we can't play Chelsea, so that wouldn't really matter. For Liverpool, obviously Real Madrid, obviously through, but again, could be Leipzig that goes, top of the group. So potentially, we might be playing them. But again, I'd expect Real Madrid to win their final game against Celtic. To be fair to them. And again, Dortmund, Dortmund could they finish top? No, they can't. But again, we can't play Man City. And then obviously then the last group, either Benfica, I suspect Benfica would finish second, but then again, Juve against Juventus, Juventus not the best as what they once were. And it could be interesting, Benfica, very, very good side, obviously, Darwin Núñez's old team, and so on. I think, look, Benfica this season so far, just judging from, different people speaking about them, they've been pretty good this season. So, again, I wouldn't want to play them. I think, obviously, the ones we'd want to play, potentially, is maybe Club Brugge, potentially, even them, they've looked brilliant this season in the Champions League from what I've seen in highlights anyway. But again, let me know, guys, as well, who you guys would want to face in the Champions League. I think it will be interesting to know your guys' thoughts and your opinions. I do think, though, to be fair, I do think that it is, depending on how people want, depending on what people want to see, I think it could be interesting to see, different people's answers and opinions anyway. But Gary's gone with Alisson Becker, Gomez, Canate, Van Dijk, Robertson, Thiago, Fabinho, Bietic, Elliot, Núñez, and Salah. I go for 5 now, for God's sake. Gary, I love it. Absolutely love it. Evening, sir. Hello, Bri. Hope you're having a fantastic day. Tom is in as well. Fellow Tom, I'm hoping your arm is better. Obviously, Tom currently has an injury. So, Tom, I'm hoping your arm's okay, to be fair. But evening, all. Hope you are all well as well. It says Mark, clear, fantastic. We can all hear it, okay. But the audio is pretty ropey. Let me quickly. I have to change that after the stream, guys. Let me know if it's okay. Again, I'm testing different things at the minute, so if it's a bit shite, then yeah, I'll change that for next time as well. But can you hear me okay? Is everything okay, or does it sound a bit ropey? If it does sound ropey, I'll change it next time. I'll try and speak a bit louder. If I can, probably annoy people as well. And obviously, Rob bring back the cab as well. Yeah, I haven't put anything in my hair today, so I thought forget. And one thing I should say as well: Happy Halloween, chat. You know, it's you know, a horror show for Liverpool at the minute, and that is a proper Halloween scare. As well, you forget. At the minute, it's not the best, is it? To be fair, but bring back the cap as well. Brian Morrissey with the thumbs up as well. Jackson as well, saying yes, Lars as well. Obviously, big up to Jack in 5K as well. I didn't see this until I watched the video and seen 5K down below. So apologies, Jack, I didn't message you again. But brilliant, the fact that Jack's got 5K. Go and subscribe over today, guys. Get the next 5K as well. Fingers crossed, hopefully as well. But crackling, but it's okay for this stream. Oh, there we go. Apologies, chat, anyway, but I'll get that fixed. Oh, hang on. Maybe I may be able to fix this now. Potentially. Can I fix this now? Maybe not. If I can't, then I do. Let's just see how that goes, chat. It might be better. It might not be better. I might be a bit worse now, but we'll just test that. Anyway, guys, let me know as well how you all are as well. Well in the chat. This is a nightmare tonight. Big up the chat legends as well. Rob saying, "Yep, that's a good point. That it sounds like underwater as well." Yeah, apologies. Do you know what? We're gifting it all underground anyway. But I know for next time not to use this setting anyway. So yeah, again, hopefully it's better. Apologies if it's not. I do deeply apologize anyway, but I'm going as Ox injured as well, for God's sake. No, I'm going for Naby. I'm going for Naby. I might have to change for that, but you know, Naby injured as well. But cheers. Hopefully Wednesday we'll see if I need surgery or not. Bloody hell, Tom. Hopefully not, my friend. Anyway, crackling to pay for the stream as well. Sounds like you're in a fish tank, lol. There we go. Judging from people, for God's sake. Big up Jack and 5K as well. And I'm sitting with Mike Myers and Jason. Oh, for fuck's sake, guys. For fuck's sake. Do you know what? That's probably the best part about this. You know, like we're probably just having a laugh, aren't we? Because at the minute we can't laugh about football. We're playing at a shite. Still here though. To be fair, hello Panago as well. Hopefully a fantastic day. Better than it was for me. Better. That's clear. That's clear for me. There we go. I'll get it fixed anyway. But I was just trying to see if that helps because I watched last streams and it was echoey a bit. This one might be a bit echoey as well, but I tried to fix it and I made it worse. So there we go. Hopefully I get it fixed for next time. I hope it goes all right. Heals quick Tom as well. I got Mark as well. Bloody hell, Tom. I hope you're okay. Yeah, bloody. But put your love hearts in the chat, guys, for Tom anyway. He might be an Evertonian, but he's a nice Evertonian as well. But yeah, hopefully Tom will be on is okay anyway. But let's get in then to Liverpool. Of course, we've spoken a bit about Napoli. Obviously, I'd expect Napoli to rest players, if I'm being particularly honest. I think Napoli will rest players. I do think they'll bring the obvious ones on. I think, obviously, like we mentioned, Osimhen and Kvaratskhelia as well. I think them two, especially Kvaratskhelia, I think he's an absolute joke. I think Osimhen is also, an absolute joke. Obviously, got a hat trick in on the weekend. But I just think Kvaratskhelia, I think he's going to be one that a lot of teams are going to be fighting over the next 12 months or so, depending, of course, if Napoli do want to get rid of him. And it also depends, I think, if Napoli start to do well, because if Napoli are winning, of course, the Serie A and doing well in the Champions League and European football, of course they'll want to build on that. They'll want to develop on it, and of course, whether or not if Napoli are one of these teams that will sell and then buy again. I'm not particularly sure, but what they've done over the last 12 months, getting rid of the dead work, in terms of Martins and Insigne as well, and bringing in them to obviously Osimhen's been there for I think 3-4 years now. To be fair, trying to get into that team, and now looks absolutely incredible. So I do think that it will be scary for them as well. To be fair, but hopefully it's going to be absolutely mental as well. But let me quickly look. Thanks, Doc, as well. Love heart as well. I think that was a love heart emoji as well from Mark. It didn't come through as love heart emojis as well. But Nunes must start, says Gary. Absolutely. You've been training with Liverpool, Tom. Surefire way to pick up an injury. Yeah, it's ridiculous, isn't it? At the minute. Play the under 23, says Mark. Yeah, we could absolutely play the under 23s. Again, it's not a game that and this is the point that we're going to mention a little bit about Ibu Konate. Do Liverpool risk any injuries or so on? Of course, there's only 4 games left, including this, before the World Cup break. Obviously, we've got this game, Spurs on the weekend, away from home. That's going to be a nightmare. It's going to be a living nightmare, that is. Derby, and then I think we've got Southampton at home. Then to finish off what has been a really crap start to the season. But again, hopefully we can kick on as well after that. But I know a lot of tickets were going based off the website availability. People can't be asked. Again, though, I think there's a major conversation needed to be had about the atmosphere at Anfield. I mentioned it in my angry rant on, when did we play? Saturday, Sunday, whenever it was. I think it was Saturday, wasn't it? I went on a mad one, didn't I? And you guys would have known as well if you've seen the post match against Leeds. And for me, I don't get, if you're going to go to a football game, sing your heart out. And look, yes, don't get me wrong, the football players need to help in that category as well. But there was just certain I think Robbo tried to do something to try and spark the crowds, and it didn't happen because the crowd was dead. And that's the problem where I think even a couple of people inside Anfield were arguing with a few people, because they were just sat there not watching the game. They were doing stupid things and that. And you're like, well, if you're going to go to a game, you need to be there. You need to sing your heart out for the players, because at the minute we're not at the best situation. We're not playing amazingly well, but the crowd can get you through tough periods. It's not there at the minute. It's desperately not there. I wish I could go every single week. I wish, honestly, I always look for tickets and so on, but I wish people, if you're gonna go and sing your heart out, go and support your team, not just go and just be silent. Like that just infuriates me. And I don't get it. And chat, let me know if that's me being, a bit too negative in that regards. But I do think there is a massive wake up call that's needed at Anfield. We saw it against City. But we need that week in, week out, not just, we're going to do it against City. Okay, that's it now for a couple of weeks. That's it. No, it has to be game after game after game. All right, there's a couple of periods where the stadium goes quiet. I understand that. That's fair, and absolutely understand. But where you've got a full 90 minutes where the crowd was dead, watching Redmond TV's, stuff, and they were even saying, and to be fair, I think myself, Jack, Dave, I think, Doug, I think there's plenty of us that are very positive, and Redmen are up there, in my opinion, in being, positive, and they get criticised, sadly for it. But we do look at it as a a positive mindset. But even people, they were saying the crowd was dead, the crowd was shit, and that's the big problem for me. You need to get behind these boys, and you need to react with each other. And if you're going to games and you're not taking the time to scream and shout and support the team, support the boys, then what's the point? What is the point? In my opinion. But that's just my personal opinion on it, guys, as well. And let me know if I am being a bit you know, a bit too well, not controversial, a bit too, I don't know how to say the words. What would I be? A bit too harsh on it, maybe. But let me know, guys, some thoughts in the chat. Anyway, I pet my dog in Italian, but he doesn't understand because I am German. Thank you, Doug. And good to see you in the chat as well, my friend. No one can see anyone taking it seriously as well, says Mark. Might as well be, yeah, concentrating with my Greek team as well. Yeah, they called Liverpool. Tom, as well, Batalio, Dougie as well. Well said, Connor. Anfield was very quiet on Saturday. Yeah, I think it was. Yeah, 100% agree as well, says Mark. What's that comment? Brian says Saturday night on Liverpool YouTube was absolute carnage. Yeah, I've seen people fighting with each other about, Klopp in and Klopp out and FSG in, FSG out. Look, in my opinion, I and like I said on the post match, some degree has to be on Jurgen Klopp. It does, simple as. But I think the bigger portion of it is on FSG and not giving the funds. Like I said, we shouldn't be signing a 67 million pound striker without without recouping that money back. If the money's there, spend it, because obviously the money was there for Tushimeni, it was there for Darwin Nunes. Obviously, we're waiting for certain players, yada yada yada. I don't care. We'll speak about, there's obviously been some news about transfers, particularly happening in January as well, but more so in the summer. But even still, there's action needed. But for me, I'm more towards FSG out than I am. I'm not Jurgen Klopp out. I think Jurgen Klopp is still the way for you got, in the future. I still believe he's the man to take us forward. I still believe, he's the man that can take us to great success. I think the players, though, are as well not reacting to what Klopp is saying at the minute. Certain individuals, Fabinho being one. I put it on Twitter this morning. I think the Fabinho role or the DM role is in massive trouble at the minute. We've all spoken about, creative midfielder needed. We've all spoken about how Liverpool need a number 8 that can take us forward and so on. I think a 6. I do think a number 6 is needed more than an 8 at the minute. If you were to say right now, what would I want out of the two? I'd want an 8. I want a 6, sorry, more than an 8. Because at the minute, Fabinho is not good enough. There's something happened to Fabinho over the last 6 months. Something like, obviously there's rumors about his personal life and so on, and obviously him and his wife have been very vocal on social media, and so on. Of course, there's rumors about them two particularly split up. I don't know how true that is. Of course, it is just rumors and speculation, so I don't want to really go into that. But there is a certain element of it where, for me, guys, Liverpool need a number 8 more. No, Christ, I'm saying 8 all the time. Liverpool need a number 6 before we get a number 8, and that's my personal opinion. That I just think Liverpool, because we need a destroyer in the midfield. How good have Liverpool been when we've had that destroyer in the midfield, like Fabinho, the last 3-4 years? Where Fabinho, we said it time and time again on post-match reactions, haven't we? We've gone, Liverpool needs Fabinho because he does 3 or 4 jobs that other midfielders don't do. And at the minute, those 3 or 4 jobs are not being done because Fabinho is knackered. He's knackered. And I don't think he goes to the World Cup, neither. Personally, I don't think he goes to the World Cup. He doesn't deserve it. Bobby Firmino, I think, deserves to go to it. Personally, I don't think Fabinho deserves to go to the World Cup. To be fair, I don't think, obviously Trent will go now, I think, but I don't think Trent deserves to go based on form. But again, that's not for me to decide, is it, guys? But guys, let me know your thoughts anyway. But I know, Brian, lots of people are Klopp out, which I find a madness as well. Yeah, I think it's ridiculous. To be honest with you, would you want in Pochettino? Cool heads are definitely needed as well, Doug, as well. Absolutely. And this is the thing, though, guys, as well, that I don't think many people have realised either. We've got to get worse first before we get better. I don't think many people are ready for that yet. And obviously, I think there is a total squad refresh needed. I think there's going to be at least 6, 7 players out the door, and I mean main team. 6 or 7, not your players that play once a year or so. And I think main players, I think, leave in the summer. And I think the refresh starts next season onwards. It's already started, of course, with you know. Calvin Ramsey coming in and Darwin, for example. But I think the major stuff happens next summer. You'd hope anyway. And Christ, I really hope so now after I've said that as well, to be fair. Anyway, but let me quickly scroll back up as well. Jurgen Klopp needs our support more than any other as well. Absolutely agree with you on that. All I heard on TV were Leeds fans expected more from a night game as well. Absolutely. Yeah, I think so. 12 on Saturday as well. Agree 100%. Seen worse, get better, get behind the club. Players as well, absolutely. So many times over the years, the crowd has been underwhelming in a game, even being 2-0 up. Can't pick and choose when you sing your heart out as well. Absolutely agree with that, Jack. Absolutely agree. The grass always looks greener on the other side as well. Absolutely. This might sound daft, but we've never replaced Gini Wijnaldum. We haven't. It's true. We haven't, and it goes further back than that, Doug, doesn't it? It goes back to Adam Lallana. It goes back to Genie, for example. And this is it now in terms of Fabinho. For me, Fabinho has been one of the best, if not the best, DM in world football. He can be in that category alongside Casemiro and Rodri over the last 5 years. If we're looking back at even the last year at Monaco, for example, obviously Monaco having that fantastic Champions League run. And now it's now come to the factor where I think Liverpool right now are in a very, very weird position. And I've mentioned how good Real Madrid have done this, and I'll happily, say how well they've done with this, how they've somehow managed, and of course this is particularly if they get Jude Bellingham, Real Madrid. I sadly think that Jude Bellingham's not coming to Liverpool, not. But if they've somehow managed to replace Modric, Casemiro, and Cruz with Camavinga, Tchouaméni, and Jude Bellingham, if they were to get Jude Bellingham. And you're looking at that. This is meanwhile they've still got that core of Cruz. Casemiro's left this summer, don't get me wrong, but Cruz and Modric are still there. Now that's the thing for me what Liverpool should be doing. Liverpool should right now. We've currently got squad players like Naby Keita, James Milner, Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain that are not good enough and should be gone out of the club. Then you've got, and for me, the main middle three right now for Liverpool, you'd say, is Casemiro, is Thiago, Fabinho, and Jordan Henderson. That three now should be what Naby Keita, James Milner, and Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain are right now within the squad. They should be three. They should be 3 to 6 or 3 to 5 in terms of players that should be there. And I think that's the thing where that should be it. And I think obviously then and the next three comes in and as well. And again, we can go on and on about this. But I think that's what Liverpool should be doing, but we're not right now. Anyway, but again, that's my thought and that's my opinion as well. But the iconic thing is Anfield will be rocking tomorrow night. I wouldn't be surprised if Liverpool win the Champions League. Do you know what, Gary? Remember 2005. Liverpool in the league were crap. And in the Champions League, obviously, we did the impossible. We beat probably the best AC Milan side there probably was for a big period. Obviously, you can go through everyone, but look at that iconic team, and look at that, and it wouldn't surprise me. It wouldn't. Who did Diaz replace as well? What do you mean, Mark? Who did Diaz replace? Marnie, I'm guessing. Yeah, Marnie Mark got to be, yeah. I would say Marnie replaced. Diaz was Marnie's replacement. Yeah, was there a question about Luis Diaz as well? I would have said that was Nunez as well.
No, it was obvious Mane was going. Um, and I think Klopp had an idea in his head where we would change system, and obviously Luis Diaz was the replacement for Sadio Mane. He was. I think Darwin was just extra on it. I think personally, anyway. But you could see it either way, can't you? Tom, how are you, buddy, as well? Brian says this team was at its best when we had Genie, Henderson, Fabinho, Dash Milner, midfield three, all workhorses. People wanted more quality. We bought Thiago. Have we got better or worse? It's an interesting question, Bry. It is a very, very interesting question. For me, in my opinion, I think Liverpool's best team under Jurgen Klopp was the season we didn't win the league. Was the 18-19 season when we went. Was it 96 points? We finished on, and we won the Champions League. That for me was Liverpool's best team. Um, yeah, because we only lost once then, didn't? Yeah, we lost once in the league, right? That season, 18-19. Yeah, 18-19. We lost once, then we obviously to City. That for me was Liverpool's best team. Um, I think in terms of quality, I think Fabinho exhale like Fabinho, Thiago does make Liverpool better, but Liverpool awfully rely on Thiago to break teams down. And Liverpool look 10 times worse right now at this present moment in time when we don't have Thiago Alcantara in it. So I don't know. I'd say as a team, probably better because we obviously they cover for both Robbo and Trent, and they could bomb more forward. Um, but I don't know. Let me know, guys, as well your thoughts. Let me know, guys, your thoughts on which season's been Klopp's best team. Like I personally think that not the year we won the Champions League, not the Champions League, sorry, the year we won the Premier League. I think that the team before was the better team. One obviously I say that we got 99 points in it when we won the league. To be fair, but I can't see it's happening in one season as well. No, it's going to take a very, very long time to start this process anyway. But let me get off this conversation anyway for a brief moment, guys. Anyway, but let's talk now about, of course, what Jurgen Klopp's had to say in today's press conference. Of course, injury news being the best, or being the best bunch anyway from today's press conference. From what Jurgen had to say. Anyway, let me quickly go back up to Mark's comment. Anyway, but as you can see, James Pierce saying Klopp on Canate, he trained completely normal. He is for sure an option. Obviously, Joel Matip still out sidelined as well, and of course, Klopp a little bit, theatrically answering a question earlier on about obviously the team not fighting as well in the press conference and saying, yeah, of course, you are all right. I am wrong to say we didn't fight against Forest. It's still not right. We ran against a deep defensive wall as well. Of course, he was speaking of Forest and Leeds as well. But the sense I got from Jurgen today in the press conference was a real sense of anger in terms of how bad it's got. Obviously, he said today that he wants to apologize to the fans, and he was saying, look, we know what is wrong, and we're hoping we can fix it. It's not going to take something overnight. It's going to take a long period, which you'd like to think might happen over the World Cup. Particularly if certain players don't go to the World Cup. But I do think it is interesting. Just to hear Klopp's comments. Obviously, we've got as well, something that was also mentioned. Obviously, Klopp saying about transfers. I think a couple of people were asking him about it today, and he did say that we, back in the summer, we didn't really identify the problem of what we had, and I didn't see it, but now we do see it, and we see what we've got to do to replace do it, which for me did massively stand out to being look, we know, we were a bit arrogant in the summer to not go after someone, and now, like, it's quite clear now that Liverpool need to go after someone in the summer anyway. But let me quickly get uh, this tweet up anyway. But of course, we've been here before, haven't we, guys? Obviously, on Twitter anyway. But of course, Liverpool want to invest in top transfer next summer with Klopp. A central midfielder is wanted in the winter already. Now, of course, people are already speculating as per usual. Straight away, who could Liverpool be going after on Twitter and social media in general. And when you look at it at the minute, Liverpool are in a corner because Liverpool are going to have to pay big in January if we want anyone, unless there is someone that is currently on a free transfer, potentially in the summer, which Liverpool might pay now. Obviously, I'm talking about Conrad Lima. Now, does Conrad Lima want Liverpool? He has said he's a Liverpool fan, but we know from previous experience he wants to join Bayern Munich. Now, could Liverpool try and persuade him potentially? Can play as a six, can play as an eight, does play more as a six and a two. As Liverpool are currently playing, obviously in a two, in defensive roles. But again, just like skimming it off the top a little bit at the moment. Klopp's comments today was, look, I've been frustrated. I want to go out and get someone in to help the team out, and that was the cry out for me today. Looking at the press conference and so on, was the fact he was screaming out, practically going, "Look, we're looking already of who we could sign in January." And I do think I wouldn't be surprised towards the end of the World Cup if there was an announcement or there was a rumor going around Liverpool trying to sign a midfielder. I said this in the summer, though, guys, didn't I? To everyone. I said to you a lot, didn't I? I said, "Oh, Liverpool will definitely sign a midfielder this summer. Don't worry." Comes friggin' September 1st. It's like, yeah, Liverpool's still transfer deadline day. Oh, yeah, Liverpool going to sign a midfielder. Yeah, Arthur Melo later on sadly becomes injured, which again isn't the best, is it? Anyway, but let me know, guys, your thoughts anyway on Klopp's comments and your thoughts and your opinions anyway in the comments section down below. But Marley was replaced by two players as well, obviously. Luis Diaz and Darwin Nunes. Can't see it happening one season. All good, Doug. Mate, season finished now, so I'm just chilling for 6 months. So if need to be on bids, and that's I'm free on now. Oh, there we go. Obviously, Tom will get you on for. Maybe we might do a World Cup special on that. Maybe we might do something as well. How things with you as well. Brian's gone Adrian, Milner, Jones, Ox, Keita, and maybe Gomez, or definitely gone by next summer. There we go. I thought you were naming your lineup then, Brian, as well. But yeah, no, I think Adrian, yes. Got Milner, yes. Jones, I think Curtis Jones, I think will go out on loan next season. Ox will be gone. Naby will be gone. Joe Gomez, maybe, yeah. He had a phenomenal game against City, and in the last two games, he's been utter shite. It's not good enough. It's really, really not good enough. Glad to hear it, Tom. What have you been up to yourself as well? And Tom, I'll chat in the comments, and I'll probably bring in one or two players as well. Again, you'd hope you'd at least one signing in January. You'd hope would come in. That's the hope and dreams as well. If it was true, we bid 85 million for Valverde. His price is now double now. Yeah, absolutely. Valverde's been unbelievable for Madrid. Obviously, me and Mikendo obviously know, just based on FIFA, but in real life, he's been phenomenal, hasn't he? Been brilliant for the last couple of seasons. And to think Madrid got him for 5 million, that's ridiculous money. That's ridiculous signing. That, to be fair, fair play to Madrid. How do you feel about Jones? For me, I don't think he's good enough. I know Mikendo loves Curtis Jones. I don't think personally he is good enough for Liverpool. But again, I'd like to see him give him more time because again, he's still only 21 at the moment. I think him, Fabio Carvalho, Harvey Elliott, they're all in that bracket, aren't they? They're in the middle ground, aren't they? Progressing up. Because the minute those, two in particular, Carvalho and Harvey Elliott, they've been the ones that have dragged the team on this season. And they shouldn't be doing it. They should just be easing their way into the team and getting their feet on the floor and they've just been thrown into the deep end. But they've had to. And to be fair, I think so far they've done brilliantly well, the two of them. I think Curtis Jones, though, I think he is development-wise, I do think he is a bit behind. Even though it's mad to say that, I do think he is behind the likes of Fabio Carvalho and Harvey Elliott. Personally, I'd say that anyway. But Bellingham will definitely come back to England, in my opinion. Real Madrid later in his career, hopefully, mate. Hopefully, again, Liverpool have no chance unless we get Champions League, and that, of course, looks a distant memory at the present moment in time as well. But I broke my wrist in training for the team, so hopefully I'll find out Wednesday if it's healed or if any surgery. Bloody hell, Tom. Hopefully, it obviously gets better as well. Worrying thing is we have the same amount of points as Shea Hudson side as well. Yeah, not the best as a Doug as well. It was mad that the Diaz money was meant to be spent 6 months later, which is mad. Yeah, again, that's a mad thing. And it is a strange one, isn't it? You look at it, Diaz money, Tchouameni money, Darwin Núñez money. Did we buy Darwin Núñez because we wasn't getting a midfielder in? Is that a question needed to be asked or not? It's mad, isn't it? Again, it's interesting. Again, I think Liverpool have money, but it's that factor where if Liverpool went out and spent 50 million on a player, the board or FSG or wherever thinks is acceptable, then we have to then try and find 50 million back. Whereas looking at it now this season, we should never let go of Taki Minamino. Don't get me wrong, Taki Minamino, he wasn't going to start for Liverpool, week in, week out, but he was a great squad player. And look at it last season, brilliant in the Cups, brilliant when called upon, scored, I think, every single time he was called upon for Liverpool. And we missed that this season. We don't have players like that now. Obviously, we're missing, of course, Jota and Luis Diaz, but we haven't got a player that's constantly there. Last season, we were allowing the likes of Divock Origi and Taki Minamino to not be on the bench. And I think now we're suffering for that personally. And again, it's a shame that we're constantly having this where, we're just selling off assets. And obviously, like Neco Williams, for example, Neco Williams should go to, leave Liverpool because we brought in Calvin Ramsey. That's fine. But when you've got players like Taki, for example, who's a squad player and used for important moments when people are injured and brought into the squad, we need to replace that, really, and we didn't in the summer. We just thought, extra money sounds, what was it, 15 million for Taki? Good deal in some sense, but again, we're leaving ourselves a bit short as well. So yeah, it's a little bit like that, really, as well. But I missed Gary's comments as well. But Gary said Mane's first 4 games, 4 goals. Núñez first 4 games, 6 goals. So yeah, Darwin Núñez. Again, no, I think he's so important for Liverpool for the future. He's going to be amazing. Thiago is Liverpool system now. Him and Salah, also Ali at the back, bailed us out so many games as well. Ali's been incredible, hasn't he? I know Alisson. I think you speak it. If anyone has seen the clip, it was sad. I think it was like Brazilian TV, and that it was sad watching Alisson's post match and going, I should have saved. I should have been in the correct position for the first goal. Should have saved the second one. And I'm like, the first goal, in my opinion, again for Leeds, wasn't his fault. The second one, potentially, he should have got a stronger hand to it. But even still, the man is saved. And I just genuinely don't know, how many times he can save us without us getting punished, badly. And it was sad to watch it. It was sad to watch it. And for me, I think he's been by far the best player so far this season. That's the problem. Jack Bobby used to be the system, and he was never injured. Thiago was one of my favourite footballers, but we really can't rely on him. Buying him was a proper mistake as well, says Bry as well. I don't think buying him was the mistake. I think relying on him, as you and Jack mentioned it, relying on him too much is the mistake. Thiago was meant to be that, that premium item that you could use, against the City, against the Chelsea, against, big teams, and, not awfully rely on him. Now look at it. We're awfully relying on Thiago week in, week out. Even the Champions League final, look at it. We were all hoping and praying Thiago was fine. Look at it. 20 minutes before kickoff, him and Naby Keita are having a conversation. We don't know who's starting. We don't know if it's Naby going to be playing or Thiago. they're deep in conversation. People are going, "Oh, we don't know who's going to start." There's been suggestion that Thiago's not fit, and we're relying on that. And at the end of the day, it cost us the Champions League, in a sense. But Lima is a pressing machine, perfect clock player, but it might be too late as well. Maybe you look at Conrad Lima though; he is, I think, 25. I think. I could be wrong with that though. Losing Edwards, a massive blow in recruitment as well, says Mark. Yeah, a little bit, isn't it? Absolutely. Loans for Jones as well. Brian spot on mate Defo as well. Uh, I love to have Valverde as well, top scorer in the cups for Taki. Yeah, absolutely. Again, Taki was it, wasn't it? Um, it's brilliant, isn't it? Taki for me. I was watching Monaco on the weekend, and he was playing that cam role. He just looked weird, didn't he? There, but yeah, strange move as well. Like Connor said, Madrid paid 5 million. If you don't spend big, people like it's no ambition. You have to be clever. Even Madrid for bargains as well. Absolutely. Shit myself then, Connor. Scary. Your camera froze. I did see it. I did see that it did freeze as well. Apologies for that as well. It was scary. To be fair. But yeah, guys, let me know as well your starting 11 predictions and your score predictions in the chat down below. Anyway, because I will be heading off in 5 minutes. Anyway, for you guys. Anyway, but this is my starting 11 prediction for the Napoli game. I have gone with Alisson Becker in goal. I have gone Trent. I Obviously the debate is whether or not Trent or Joe Gomez should be right back. I think Joe Gomez might play right back on the weekend against, or it might even be James Milner potentially on the weekend against Spurs. Obviously, Ibu Kanate starts for me, Virgil van Dijk and Andy Robertson. I do think it will be a midfield two of Thiago and Jordan Henderson. I don't think Fabinho starts. I think something is wrong there with Fabinho at the present moment in time. And then I've got on the front, obviously, the four of Mohamed Salah, Bobby Firmino, Fabio Carvalho, and obviously Darwin Nunes. No Harvey Elliott in there for me. I think you rest him a little bit because again he's played a tremendous amount of football over the last couple of weeks on that right hand side. I don't want obviously he won't be going to the World Cup. We don't think should be anyway, or be any part of it. Of course, Southgate does like to put a few English players in, and so on. But again, I'm pretty sure plenty of people will be getting rest over the obviously just what we've got 2 weeks left of football. We've got like I said the Spurs game, Derby. What else we got? Southampton as well. It's all coming thick and fast. Then I should say anyway. And for me, guys, as well, I've gone with a 2-2 draw. I think that's probably the best thing Liverpool could go for. If I'm being perfectly honest. And again, it depends on what Napoli team turns up. If Napoli plays their A team, it's going to be a long night. If Napoli play the mixed team, and I suspect Liverpool are going to play a mixed team as well, I then do think it will be 2-2. I do think it will be an entertaining game. I do think it will be back to front, back to back, I should say, like a basketball game. But again, I do think it will be. I think someone's smashing things downstairs. But I do think it will be back to back anyway. Before we do head off anyway, I will quickly read the comments. It's only going to be half an hour, and they've been 50 minutes. So Ali, Trent, Canate, BVD, Simicus, Perisic, Thiago, Elliott, Bobby, Nunes, Salah, and a diamond as well, says Bry. Mark's gone with no idea on starting squad. Hopefully not all out. Hoping to be resetting players going on a 3-1 loss as well. But not confident of it, guys. And Brian also going to a 2-1 loss as well. Anyway, but guys, that is going to be it from me. Oh no, it's not. Last comment of the video anyway. Brian says. But yeah, that's definitely depends on Napoli's team as well. Yeah, absolutely as well. But guys, big thank you to each and every single one of you guys as well for tuning in. Of course, we've spoken about Napoli beginning the stream. Of course, we've spoken about Liverpool's problems a little bit. Obviously, speaking a little bit about transfers as well. And realistically, we've only got 4 games left before the World Cup. Hopefully, we can win all 4. Obviously, starting with the Napoli game. Again, you're hoping for some type of reaction for obviously what happened against Leeds. But I don't know at the minute with this Liverpool side. I don't know who's going to turn up, who's going to perform. But hopefully there will be a reaction to what happened on the weekend anyway. But guys, if you're new around here as well and viewing this for the first time, then please hit that like button and please hit that subscribe button as well. If you're new around here, big up for all the support as well. Big up to all you guys as well supporting the channel as well. I do very much appreciate each and every single one of you as well. Obviously, we'll be live tomorrow after the game for post-match reaction. If we lose, you won't see me for a week again. I'm kidding, obviously. But again, hopefully the things will be better after the World Cup. I think that's the big hope now for Liverpool, is that things will be better after the World Cup. But we have to get there first anyway, to be fair. But yeah, guys, if you have enjoyed, like I said, please hit a like, please hit that subscribe button as well. Please share out the video as well. Very much appreciated, as always anyway. But yep, like I said, that's going to be it from me, guys. I've been Connor from the Cup Council. I'll see you all tomorrow. Ta-ra.